Good morning. Good morning. Honored graduates of Lutheran University of America. This is next week's speech.
Thank you so much. We'd just like to express our gratitude to Cardinal Wuerl for the beautiful prayer this morning and obviously putting in a word for the miraculous turn of the weather. So I'd like to thank you, Cardinal Wuerl. Thank you to President John Garvey, who's one of the most benevolent and enlightened men that I've met. You're very lucky to have him here. Fellow honorees, trustees, faculty members of the graduating class, and families and friends of the graduates, we are delighted to be here in beautiful Washington, D.C., on the steps of the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, or as Jim calls it, Catholic Disneyland. And I'd also just like to give a really quick shout out to my BFF, Sister Mary Doolittle, who is somewhere way back there, who gave me a gift on the way up here. Go Sisters of Life. Great to see you. Thank you for coming here. So everyone clap for Sister Mary Doolittle for being here. And as I said before, we are delighted to be here to address the class of 2016 on this defining moment in their lives. To be here on this day with you is a tremendous blessing for us, and I'd like you to give yourselves a big round of applause right now. So we are incredibly honored to have been asked to speak at your commencement this morning.
Yeah, I'm just not sure why they don't have commencements in the afternoon.
Jim.
I'm just saying things can commence at night, too.
Okay, we understand. Today, after years of hard work, many sacrifices, long hours of classes and studying,
and tens of thousands of dollars,
you have come to this moment of incredible achievement, receiving your degree.
I mean, then again, Jeanne and I have only been here an hour, and we're also getting one.
Jim.
You know, when President Garvey asked us to speak at the commencement for the Catholic University of America, I had only one question. Who canceled? I'm kidding. My only question was, how much is Garvey gonna pay us?
Actually, our first thought was, what an incredible honor, but it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. We're in the middle of producing a television show.
And we have children.
Yeah, 4 wonderful children.
Jim, we have 5 children.
Yeah, but only 4 of them are wonderful.
Anyway, the idea of giving a speech right now,
especially an unpaid speech,
Jim, seemed utterly impossible.
Yet here we are.
This initial response of "it's impossible" has come up many times over the course of our relationship.
Yeah, like when we can't get married right now, it's impossible.
We can't have a kid right now, it's impossible.
We can't write a book right now, it's impossible. I barely know how to read.
As you may have guessed, we have been consistently wrong about what is possible and what is impossible in our lives.
We can't open a mail-order guacamole business. It's impossible.
Jim, we never did that.
Yeah, because you never gave it a chance.
In spite of our self-doubts and our flaws, the impossible became possible.
But neither of us could have had these accomplishments by ourselves.
We needed each other. We needed our family, we needed our friends, and we needed God.
And we needed that mail-order guacamole business. But this one was too weak in faith. Oh, avocados are too perishable. I'm scared.
Okay, as life goes on, things tend to seem less possible. After my own graduation, anything was possible, I felt. I knew exactly what I wanted and how I was going to get it. Regional theater, Broadway, film, and in between, I'll just, be on some Law & Order episodes where I play a disillusioned socialite that may or may not be involved in the crime the entire episode is about, who ends up solving said crime by giving her tearful testimony on the stand about how her best friend confessed to her. et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I had it all figured it out. And I didn't need anyone's help to do it. Not only did I not need anyone's help to do anything, I didn't want anyone's help to do anything. I was going to do it by myself, and I wanted to show all of those haters that didn't believe in me that I could do it. Me, me, me. It was pretty soon after I saw the 6-hour-long lines for the auditions for the Broadway shows that I realized I better get a day job. Using my liberal arts education, and I went to a Jesuit school, so it was a liberal arts education. I quickly got a job as a drama teacher, and I figured out I had a gift for working with children. I spent the next few years creating my own not-for-profit theater company, producing full-scale Shakespearean productions with urban teens, and I did it all by myself. I had found my place at the table. I was at the peak of my mania when I met Jim. I knew nothing about stand-up comedy or comics, but I knew Jim was funny, talented, and I wanted him to be a part of my company. But he was just too skinny. So I encouraged him to eat a lot more. You're welcome. Jim agreed to come help work for me, but at the same time, he needed my help. Ooh, that was almost a disaster. I would work for him on his first TV project. We are both really hard workers, so our lives got very busy. It was then we realized that if we didn't work together on something, we would never see each other again. Oh, and then there was the whole love thing. When you have true love, you never only work for yourself. In working with Jim, I realized that I could also work for his career, towards his dreams. And it was actually rewarding. And something started to happen where it became ours. And of course, all those years working with troubled kids prepared me for a lifetime with Jim Gaffigan. How could it be that all my efforts to do everything by myself were not as fulfilling? Even though I was working tirelessly with urban teenagers, I was in charge. I was giving of myself, but for myself. It's funny how we can even make the most altruistic ventures about ourselves. Sharing your life with someone is not easy because it involves sacrificing control, but something beautiful can happen.
Some of you already have your lives planned out. Some of you are lost. When I sat at my graduation from college over 5,000 years ago, I was both of these things. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something. It wasn't until 4 years after my graduation that I finally decided what my heart was telling me to do with my life: pursue my dream of being a ballerina. Of course, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I was, in fact, relieved to discover this. I could finally focus my ambition on a passion. My one goal was to do stand-up comedy on The Late Show with David Letterman. 10 frustrating years later, I stood on the stage of the Ed Sullivan Theater and lived out my dream. Following my appearance, I was given an opportunity to do my own television show, and in a way, my career was off and running. I had a deep moment of peace, followed by an impending sense of dread. I had achieved my self-appointed goal, but something was missing. Where to now? What if career accomplishment was not the answer? I began to question everything. Beliefs I had doubted, I opened my mind to. Maybe marriage wasn't giving up freedom. Maybe faith in something wasn't naive. Maybe putting others first wasn't weakness. Maybe guacamole could be sold through the mail.
Jim, focus.
Before I met Jeanne, I had lived across the street from a Catholic church for 15 years. I didn't notice it. I never went in it once. Because of Jeanne, that same church became the place where I was married, the same church my 5 children were baptized in, and the church where once a week I'm reminded to keep focused on my priorities: God, family, then work.
Well, I can't take all the credit for this because my mother has been saying perpetual novenas for about 15 years now. So even though you are all the proud graduates here of Catholic University, you probably are not as proud as your parents are of you. You have not completed this major accomplishment alone. Take a moment now and look around you at your classmates, your friends, your family here with you, cheering you on, even the ones who are supporting you from thousands of miles away.
Yeah, they all love you, and they would all love my mail-order guacamole.
Okay. Your studies here at Catholic University have enlightened your hearts and your minds and prepared you well for the challenges that lie ahead of you in life. But it was your family that prepared you for Catholic University. Family is of the utmost importance. As you put your trust in God, things that seem impossible will become possible. The love you are given and the love you give will be the most important force driving you through life. Life is nothing without love.
Remember, happiness is not found in accomplishments, income, or the number of Twitter followers you have. True happiness is found in family, living for each other, sacrificing together, and enjoying the blessings of fresh guacamole delivered promptly to your door.
We're going to leave you with this. Love what you do, love who you are, and love those around you.
Getting anywhere without doing that, now that's impossible.
Impossible.
Now get out there and get some guacamole.